This right here is a 2002 Audi TT Roadster. I grabbed it off Facebook Marketplace for $2,000, and it actually came with all the parts I need to fix the exterior. This isn't just any regular base TT, this is the Quattro Turbo model. It has 225 horsepower. Also, this one only came with a 6-speed manual transmission, all-wheel drive, dual exhaust, has a lot more upgrades and performance than the regular base model. It's not the absolute top-of-the-line TT, but it is as close as you can get, and a lot of people actually like this model better. It's easier to mod, add a bigger turbo, squeeze more power out of it without any extra headaches. My plan is simple: rebuild it, get it back into pristine shape, repair the wreck damage, and decide if this is going to be my new daily driver or if I'm going to flip it for a profit. The story goes, the previous owner got rear-ended at a stoplight back in January, so that was about 7 months ago from right now. He really loved this car, so he's planning on fixing it. That's why he bought all the parts needed to fix the actual wreck damage. But unfortunately, he never found the time, so it's been sitting at a storage facility ever since, and that's where I picked it up. He did do a little bit of modifications to it in this time of owning, like some new headlights, tail lights. And he said he installed a stage 1 tune. I'm not really too sure which tune it was or how much horsepower it added or anything, but I can guess it probably is around 260 horsepower right now. Let me take you all around this car, show you the wreck damage, give you a complete rundown of this vehicle, even show off the interior, because there's also some work in there that needs to be fixed. We'll start off on the front end. The front end is actually in really good shape. The only damage I see is right about here. It looks like when he got into the wreck, it got pushed into someone's trailer hitch. But this is also really low to the ground, so it must have been on an SUV or some kind of smaller vehicle. But I believe I can fix that and get that repainted, and there's also a little bit of damage on the right-hand side right here. These headlights look brand new, they're in really good shape. Everything else up here is really awesome. It's a little bit dirty, but the bumper and the hood's paint is actually in really good shape. A little bit of a wash and this thing will be pristine. Moving over to the passenger side, it all looks in really good shape. It's a little bit of tiny dings and some scratches. I can get those scratches out. I'm not so sure about the little dings in it. But for this thing being 23 years old, it's in really good shape. Onto the driver's side, there is a little bit more damage. You can see that this front fender's clear coat is actually peeling off. This is really the only part in the car that really needs a paint job. I don't believe this is gonna be too difficult to paint and even color match. This black doesn't have any pearl in it. It's just a plain black color. So it should be pretty easy to color match that. Nothing too major on this side, just a couple little dings and scratches. The rims on this side are a little bit more chewed up than the other side. Got some curb rash on this one and some cracking along the sides. The wheel on the back end, it looks in worse shape. This is definitely the worst looking wheel. Maybe I can find a new rim for cheap, or maybe a whole new set of shoes. We'll see. This is the Roadster model, so it's not a hard top, it's a convertible top, and it's actually in really good shape considering its age. I don't see any rips or tears or anything like that. The only thing I can see is the corners are starting to lift up a little bit. I might be able to stretch that back down and fix that. But for this thing being as old as it is, it's in really good shape. Now for the back end and where it got wrecked. Just looking at pictures online, you really don't think it's that big of a deal. But once we get up a little bit closer, you can see the actual body of the vehicle got pushed in probably about 6 inches or so. Unfortunately, the only way to fix that is to hook it up to a frame machine and have it pulled back out. And if you're really good at body work, you might be able to pull this out and get it looking right and not have to replace anything. But with my skill set, I think it's better just to cut all this out and replace it with brand new metal. Even this rear bumper doesn't look too bad. Just that one little crack in it, and it got kind of ripped off. I have a new trunk lid for it, a new rear bumper, and even all this metal already ready to go. Unfortunately, the new taillights got damaged in the wreck, so he threw on the old ones, and they are in okay shape, but this side has a little bit of cracking in it. So maybe I can try to find some new or used taillights to make it look a little bit cleaner. Let me open the trunk up so you guys can see what the damage looks like in there. Now, unfortunately, the button for the trunk isn't really wanting to work. Even on the key, it's not working. So let me show you how to get in there if that's not working. Go on this passenger side, move this seat up, and then right behind this panel, there's an emergency latch. Taking a look right there, the previous owner left a lot of his stuff in there. Just some fishing gear and I don't know what else is in here. Some other extra parts. So right here you can see where the damage is. You can't just replace this trunk lid and bumper and call it a day. You have to be able to pull this back out if you want everything to line up properly. But overall, it doesn't look too bad, and I think we can get this thing fixed in a couple days. Now let's move to the interior because there is a little bit of damage in there as well. No airbags are blown or anything like that, but the seats are starting to crack a good bit. Now what's cool about these seats is this is called the baseball seats because it looks like a baseball glove with this kind of leather stitching along the side. Looks really cool, but they are starting to crack and fall apart a little bit. The passenger side is a little bit worse than the driver's side. But with it being 23 years old, you can kind of expect that to be an issue. Also, you may notice the glove box is completely shattered and fallen apart. That actually happened the day I went to go pick it up. Previous owner opened it and it just fell apart. So I'm in the market to try to find a new one of those and get that replaced because I don't think I can fix that. It is a little bit too far gone. A couple other small things in here, like the center console has been glued back together. I want to get that out, either replace it or try to fix it. And then also with the door panels, they are starting to peel up a little bit towards the top, mainly on the driver's side. That driver's side panel looks a little bit rough. But right now, my main focus is getting the exterior work all done, getting the paint looking right, and getting that wreck damage all repaired. One last thing I need to fix about this car, like right now, is this driver's door. It doesn't shut. And that's because this latch mechanism in here is all messed up. I have to really play with it to get it to work. The previous owner said he has everything I need to fix this car. There's a bunch of boxes of stuff and everything's all wrapped up and I haven't had the chance to go through it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Get an inventory of what I have, and if there's anything I can think of that I need to fix this car, go ahead and place that on order and get it ready to go. Let's go through that first, and then we can pull this car in here and get to work on it. This right here must be the new back bumper. I'm not sure how much of this is used and how much of it is actually brand new, but I'm pretty sure he said most of it is all the same color black, so I'm assuming it's all used. The paint job doesn't look very good on this. Well, first bad news is this bumper is in terrible shape. I'm pretty sure right here is all body filler. That's what it feels like anyway, or it's just really thick paint. I think the one that came on the car is in better shape than this. This is, wow. Wow, that's really bad. This here I think is the trunk. It's not in great shape either. Yeah, I don't know where he got these, but this one needs a lot of work as well. This whole corner right here is all bent back. All this is all dented up here. I mean, I can fix it, but it's not in that great a shape. Just like that rear bumper, it might be easier to fix the one that's on the car already. 0 for 2 right now. This is that rear bumper panel. Got cut out of a different color car. A little bit of damage down here, but that could have been done in shipping. Nothing too special in the rest of these boxes, just some interior plastic pieces, a couple engine parts like the air box, some wheel spacers, and just some other little parts. The one important thing I have though is a new latch for the driver's side door. This looks like the fuse box that goes on top of the battery. This looks brand new, so maybe the one on the car is starting to go bad. So I pretty much would have everything I need to fix the exterior if those two panels weren't in really bad shape. They're actually really bad. The bumper has a ton of cracks all over it, probably from all the body filler underneath it. And this trunk lid, most of this could have got damaged in shipping. So definitely replace the bumper, and then maybe I'll try to fix this. Maybe I'll check and see if there's a junkyard around me that has one of these cars in. I'm not blaming the previous owner for that. I should have opened these up and checked them all out before committing to the purchase price. If I would have opened those and looked at it, I probably would have took off a couple $100s to be able to replace those parts, because they're really not that useful. Well, I was thinking this panel was in good shape, and then I lifted it up and they cut right here along the whole thing. This is the part I had to replace. So them cutting this actually ruined this whole thing. This should be a lesson to everyone. Check over the parts before you buy it. And also, you probably shouldn't buy used parts and have them shipped to you unless it's from like a reputable seller. That's a hammock. I've gotten most of the wreck damage fixed. It's back to almost perfect. It's not 100% perfect, but it's about as close as you can get with these parts that I'm using. As for this bumper and trunk, they're pretty much junk. I tried fixing this trunk and it's just not turning out how I really want to. The whole thing is actually tacoed a little bit, so I can't even pull it out straight. I was able to get this dent out of the front, but that was about it. Same thing with both the bumpers and that new trunk. It's just not savable. I really don't want to use junk on this car. And speaking of junk, you guys are always roasting me in the comments about my shoes. I see the comments all the time and people talking about how they are terrible to wear around the shop. They are not safe at all. I think it's time to retire these and upgrade to an actual real pair of work boots. These are Brunt boots, and I got the Martin waterproof work boots. Normally with work boots, you have to break them in for a few weeks. That's why I avoid it, because I want to be comfortable while I'm working. But as soon as I slip these things on, they fit right to my feet perfectly. They've got a cushioned footbed that actually supports your feet, and they're breathable, which is necessary in this Florida heat. They're tough, they're waterproof, barnyard resistant leather, which is gonna be perfect for my new house, dealing with all the farm animals and the farmland. Slip and oil resistant, which my other shoes had zero grip on. Heat resistant up to 572 degrees, which is about a normal day here in Florida. So overall, these are really awesome. Super comfortable, easy to slip on and off. I can take these off in a couple seconds. And what I really love about them is they won't break the bank. They are very affordably priced, and Brunt even lets you try them on, work on the job, wear them, beat them up, test them out, and if you don't love them, you can send them back free of charge and get your full reimbursement back. If that doesn't tell you these boots are really comfortable, their company backs them 100%. I have full trust that you will love these boots. I'm really excited to test these things around the shop, wear them every day, paint in them, do body work in them, weld in them, really beat them up, test them out to their full capabilities. And I will give you an update in the future. If you want to check them out, there's a link in my description. Also, you can scan this QR code right above me for $10 off of your order. They have a wide variety of different boots and shoes and even clothes that you can try on, which I probably need some clothes next. Overall, I'm really loving them. You guys can check them out in my description. Now let's get back to work on this. I drove 4 hours to pick up a new trunk and a new bumper because it's the only ones I could find right now. I did pay a little bit more than I wanted to for them. I've been really spoiled with these pick and pull junkyards and their prices, so actually paying full price for car parts isn't as fun. The new trunk is in pretty good shape. There's a little ding on it that I need to fix, and that rear bumper, also a little scratch on it that I need to fix. And while I'm at it, I'm also gonna go ahead and take off this spoiler and also work here on the front end, get this fender ready for paint. Same thing with this front bumper. Try to fix these few little dents in there, get it all prepped, primed, and ready for paint. Well, I can't use this lower valance because I have a dual exhaust. So scrap this one. Luckily, I still have the original one. It was in the car. Only thing is, has a few scratches on it, and there's like a little crack up here. But I'm gonna use my Eastwood's hot stapler, fix that right up. I've used this almost every single time I've rebuilt a car, so it comes in handy quite a bit. close. It's a little bit shinier. And that is a wrap for this video, but that is not a wrap for this car. We got all the exterior work done, everything painted, everything turned out really good on the paint job wise. If this car hadn't been cut and buffed before, it probably would have matched really well, but there was absolutely no orange peel in all the rest of these parts. So if I had a little bit on these freshly painted parts, you'd be able to tell a difference. But that's no big deal. I just cut and buffed the parts that I really needed to. Started with 1,000 grit all the way to 2,000, then 3,000 grit. Just a quick little cleanup, that way it all matches really well right now. I do eventually want to buff out the rest of the car, try to get those scratches out and a couple little paint chips, get those fixed, and get this whole exterior in pretty much pristine condition. Overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out, comparing it to how it showed up right now. The peeling paint, the crashed rear end, getting all these parts color matched, it all turned out really awesome. Like I said, this is not the end of this build. I still need to work on the interior of the car. These seats are in terrible shape. I either want to find some in good condition or maybe even pull these seats out and put all new seat covers on them. Also, there's the broken glove box and some other plastic pieces in the center console, along with the door panels needing some love. I just really want this car to look as good on the inside as it does on the outside. Also, I never really opened the hood and showed you guys the motor. All of it looks really clean. It even has an aftermarket intake, but I do hear a little bit of a weird noise going on in the front. Thinking it's the power steering pump maybe going bad. It still works, but it's making a weird whining sound. I don't know if you guys have noticed that throughout the video. Something to look into and narrow it down. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. Also, just like my other Volkswagen in my last video, this one does not have AC as well. I'm hoping this one's gonna be an easier fix, but we will see. That is a wrap for this video. If you guys have an Instagram, you can check me out over there. I post a lot of behind the scenes of what's coming up in future videos. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out greatly, and it's free to do so. You can always unsubscribe anytime you want to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know in the comments what you want to see done on this next. Bye.